Hey, next video we're gonna watch 6 most disturbing forest encounters caught on the camera. You ready? You better be ready, because we're gonna watch it now.
Daniel O'Neill is a YouTuber from the UK with a channel called English Woodsman, where he's been uploading videos of his wild camping, stealth camping, and woodland camping trips in the UK for almost 10 years. Most of the channel's videos feature Daniel reviewing camping gear for his viewers and showing footage of his adventures in the great outdoors. For the most part, they're pretty tame, but in August 2023, he uploaded a video of his camping trip in the
English woods are creepy. I should have gone to the woods when I went to the UK. I don't know why I didn't do it. Next time.
woodlands close to his home, and the footage is pretty disturbing. The first part of the video pretty much just shows Daniel walking through the woods and talking to his subscribers, eating berries, and pointing out the sights on the way to the campsite. At several points along the way, he pauses to mention the footprints and garbage he sees lying on the trail, indicating
Wait till you get to some of these. No, I'm scared of the American one.
other people had been there in the last few days.
People have been there.
Here. There's a lot of rubbish around here. Yeah, look at the state of this. It does get used, doesn't it?
After about a 20-minute walk, he sits down at a clearing
How dare they throw all of the... I always get so mad when I see people throw this in nature. It makes me want to slap them.
After about a 20-minute walk, he sits down at a clearing where he plans to set up camp for the night and leans back on a tree to eat his noodles as he talks to the camera. It's not until around 25 minutes into the video that things start to get seriously disturbing for Daniel.
I'm going to be out Friday night, but I'm going away Saturday, so I've got a bit of a drive as well, so I didn't want to be tired, and it's going to throw it down Friday night as well, and rain camping is really good.
Someone!
Is that a badger? Hello?
Even though some
why.
pretty human-like footsteps could be heard
I
right
don't know why, but I have to laugh, and I don't know what's funny. Is it the badger? Is that what's making me laugh?
Daniel. As soon as he turns around to scan his environment, there's nobody in sight. What's most disturbing is that as soon as he turned around and yelled hello, the footsteps immediately stopped. For the next few minutes, he sits down
Oh,
and
were those footsteps? I thought it was the sound of something digging or something. Or like playing around with the ground. I don't know.
tries to regain his composure as he sips his coffee and eats his noodles, but things only continue to get even more creepy as the sun begins to set.
Oh wait, now I hear footsteps. Okay, I'm just deaf. Never mind, it really was footsteps.
There's that noise again now.
You should ask if they want some noodles.
Hello?
Is it just someone pacing
Hello?
around?
You got to hear that.
Scream.
There's nobody here.
About 40 minutes into the video, the footstep noises can be heard again, and this time it sounds like they're getting closer to
Yeah,
Daniel.
it sounds really close.
By this point, most people would have hightailed it out of there without any hesitation, but Daniel decides to sit back down to finish his dinner as he tries to calm his nerves for the second time. Amazingly, a few minutes later, it almost seems like he completely forgets about the footsteps and manages to think about less disturbing things, which is honestly pretty impressive. But as darkness sets in, the eerie footsteps start up
He's
again.
brave! I would have gotten the f*** out when I heard the first footsteps.
I'm going to be honest. I can't stay here now.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a wimp. I don't care if people call me a wimp in the comments.
It's okay, you can be a wimp.
But
I'm a wimp too.
I can't stay here. I'm too unsettled.
Your safety is more
I'm
important.
nervous. I've done camping like this loads of times. I think I'm going to go find somewhere else to get this bivvy set up. But I'm leaving this spot
I'm surprised it took this long though. Now it's really dark, man.
Understandably, after this third incident, Daniel decides to head somewhere else for the night to play it safe. It's hard to know what exactly was making those sounds, but because they sounded very similar to human footsteps, it's possible that Daniel was being stalked by someone in the woods. This is obviously incredibly dangerous, as you can never really trust someone's intentions when you're in such a vulnerable position all by yourself in unknown territory. It was either that or an animal walking through the grass. But because Daniel mentioned the grass was a little wet and would have made that dry sound if an animal stepped on it, this is pretty unlikely. Also, many people in the comments mentioned that no animal walks that uniform and steady. They stop, go, and change pace constantly. Either way, it's a good thing he decided to leave, because who knows what could have happened to Daniel that night.
Oy, oy, oy.
The Rampant Range is part of a front range of the Rocky Mountains in Colorado, made up of almost entirely public land within the Pike National Forest. In the summer, you'll find lots of bikers
Even though I think American woods are scary, just because of all of the stories that I watch. That's the only reason, because I just keep on watching all these disturbing, creepy stories and serial killers, blah 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 blah. But honestly, it does look pretty.
Enjoying the Rampant Range's elaborate trail system and exploring the great outdoors. For the most part, this part of Colorado is a paradise for anyone who enjoys spending time in nature. But over the past few years, there's been a pretty alarming trend on the rise, with random people setting up wires on trees at just about head height in an effort to seriously injure bikers on the trail.
Oh my god, that is,
In
what
2019,
the hell?
a post describing this terrifying trend was uploaded to Facebook. And disturbingly, the uploader mentioned that one of his high school friends had lost his life as a result of running into a similar wire on a trail. Immediately, people jumped into the comments to point out how incredibly messed up it would be to do something like this, and how this kind of evil needs to be categorized as attempted murder if the suspects are ever caught. A couple of years before that post was made, in 2017, two motorbike riders uploaded a video to YouTube of their encounter with a similar wire, and although nothing happened to them, it was a very close call.
Oh my god. That is evil. That is evil.
When these wires are set up off-trail, it can be hard to tell whether they were placed there out of malice or if a random camper or farmer placed the wires there to hang up clothes or something similar. But in cases like these where the wires are specifically placed on the trail, there's really only one reason people would do that, and that's to bring serious harm to bikers.
Like, why would you place it there if you just want to hang, dry your clothes? That makes no sense. That's a very weird place, very weird spot to do that. Is that something like this where someone hit it, didn't get too badly hurt, but it could have taken his head? Oh my god. Always wear your helmet. If I ever see someone do that, I might be the up of that people. I mean, deserved.
For some reason. Possibly they're annoyed with the constant loud sound of the bikes near their property or something else. But hopefully more measures can be taken in the future to prevent more people from getting hurt, especially because it's not uncommon to hear about motorbikers and snowmobilers.
Oh my god, yeah, it could have been like someone is like annoyed by the motorbike noises, and then they think like, oh, let me put this wire here. Oh my god.
Losing their lives over this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Crazy.
This audio was uploaded to YouTube by a user named
Sounds of screaming coming from the woods behind my house at about 2 a.m. December 2014. Yeah, Karens!
Forest Fire number 21. He recorded it around 2 a.m. in December 2014. The uploader lives in a forest, and he mentioned that the noises in the audio were coming from deep in the woods behind his house.
Sounds like someone died.
It's hard to make out what the child is yelling, but after listening closely, several users jumped in the comments to point out that you can also hear an adult voice yelling, "Where are you?" In addition to the young female voice making most of the noise, this quieter, more subtle male voice that can also be heard in the audio only makes the whole incident that much more disturbing. Near the end of the video, the uploader mentions that after that night, he checked the news every day to see if he could find some explanation for the screams, but he never did.
I checked the news for days afterwards to see if there was some explanation, didn't find anything. This was a few days after Christmas. It was freezing and there was snow outside. The screams were very loud. I don't know how close they would have been. The woods slant down towards a creek, so from my window I had a good view but didn't see anything.
The fact that the screaming was captured at around 2 a.m. in the freezing cold weather and in the middle of the woods indicates that the uploader could have genuinely recorded something pretty sinister taking place that night. It's hard to tell why the uploader would record and upload the audio instead of immediately calling the police after hearing a female voice in such obvious distress.
Yeah.
But at this point, there's not much that can be done about it. And who knows, maybe the uploader did call the police. There wasn't much context given in the video's description. We can only hope that whatever problem happened that night was eventually solved, but based on the shrillness of the screams and the strangeness of the whole situation, we probably won't ever be able to know for sure.
I mean, it could also just be fake. We don't know. Even easier, because apparently the original footage was just a black screen. So maybe it was fake. Could also be it.
Lisa is a life coach and YouTuber who often uploads videos of what it's like living in her van and traveling the country on her own. One afternoon in 2022, Lisa had parked her van on the side of the road and left the side door of her van open while she cooked her dinner inside, when suddenly a sketchy-looking guy approached her, poked his head in her van without her permission, and started asking her some pretty bizarre questions in French, a language Lisa doesn't speak. When she mentioned she didn't understand—
Wait, how does she know the bizarre— Oh wait, is he gonna say it in English afterwards? Never mind, maybe I'm too fast. Maybe I'm too fast.
What he was saying, he pulled out a translator
Okay,
app to
too
try to
fast.
communicate with her, which obviously made her pretty uncomfortable, especially since she wasn't interested in talking to him in the first place after he invaded her personal space. After watching the guy struggle to use Google Translate for a few minutes, Lisa decided she'd had enough and shut the side door in his face, also closing the curtain to make sure the guy got the hint. Strangely, for over half an hour, the guy then stood outside in the rain and tinkered with the translator app to try to communicate with Lisa, even after she made it more than obvious that she wanted nothing to do with him.
No! What the f is he doing?
Okay, he just moved even closer so that I can't move out and so that I can't go forward.
Oh, I was already wondering, like, why is she not going? But that's why. She's not leaving because he's in front of her.
Please leave. Please leave, you sketchy person. Please leave.
That's horrible.
With a very shady demeanor, the man snuck into the bushes and pretty much just stalked Lisa from a distance, as if he thought she couldn't see him. As the sun began to set, Lisa kept an eye on the guy outside to make sure he didn't try to get close to her again, but the man just kept on bringing his car closer to her van and blocking her exit in different ways for more than half an hour.
This guy is really starting to freak me out. It's been like a half an hour and he just keeps on moving his vehicle so he can see in my van here. And anyways, it's 7 o'clock, 7 p.m.
Fortunately, just as darkness had begun to set in, a family in an RV pulled up right behind Lisa and spent the night in the same parking lot as her, which comforted her enough to stay there the entire evening. Disturbingly,
lucky.
the guy left soon after the other family arrived, but came back about 3 hours later in the dead of night to check if Lisa was still there.
Oh no!
When he saw the other family in the RV was also still in the parking lot, he left and didn't come back. Next morning, Lisa left early and never saw the guy again.
He would have done
something. It's hard to tell what the guy's exact intentions were, but based on his overall sketchy demeanor and questionable behavior, they couldn't have been anything good.
Yeah.
The one thing we can be sure about is that it's a good thing the other family in the RV arrived at the parking lot when they did. Otherwise, who knows what the man would have done to Lisa. In May 2014, an Imager user uploaded a blog post where he talked about the time he went to visit a friend.
Hello, my name is what?
An
My name is a thing from the walls.
Imager user uploaded a blog post where he talked about the time he went to visit a friend in northern Germany. According to the uploader, his friend told him about these pipes that he had found in the woods near his house that stuck up out of the ground like periscopes. Apparently, his friend and his siblings played near the pipes as kids,
Oh wait,
and
we
knew
saw
that
this.
there were bunkers hidden below them, but their parents never allowed them to get near them out of concern for their safety. During the visit narrated in the blog post, the uploader and his friend decided to check out the pipes and finally go down into the bunkers that they never had permission to explore when they were younger, and they found some pretty disturbing stuff. A few hundred feet away from the trees, they found the entrance to the bunker covered
it
with
the one
a
with
loosely placed
Satan?
piece of wood that they easily removed with a crowbar. Once inside, all
Oh,
they
yeah,
could
the
see were
shoe.
these long, seemingly endless hospital-like hallways that extended for thousands of feet under the woods. As they ventured further and further into the maze of tunnels, they found graffiti on some of the walls, indicating they weren't the first people to get the idea to explore the underground bunkers. To the explorers' horror, one of the walls deep inside the tunnels had the word "help" in German graffitied all over it. It's possible that it was just sprayed on there by another group of teens trying to be funny, but the eerie nature of the bunker coupled with the general state of disarray really makes you wonder if something more sinister took place down there at some point, possibly even written by German soldiers in the later parts of World War II. As they traveled deeper into the bunker, they found some more disturbing graffiti, with one of the eeriest messages reading,
Here it is,
"Hello,
Satan. Hello,
I love
Satan."
you." Obviously, that's not the kind of message you want to see in a tunnel system like this, but the two friends decided to keep on exploring anyway. After several hours down in the bunker, they ended up finding tons of more twisting, winding hallways, flooded rooms with old machines, and dark, narrow corridors that reached dead ends, but nothing more disturbing than the graffiti they had found a few hours earlier. The explorers managed to make it out of there safely and didn't go back.
Hello, Satan's probably one of the least scary things you can see written. I know, right? But like, that's like the thing that people write the most on the wall, thinking it will scare people.
There again. In the summer of 2016, reports started surfacing that people were finding dangerous booby traps along a very well-known hiking trail in the High Mountain Park Preserve in
Why
Wayne,
are
New Jersey.
people trying to kill
As
people
per
in the
police
woods?
reports, the traps mostly consisted of boards with nails sticking out of them, barbed wire, broken bottles placed along the trails behind or near rocks or logs, and other treacherous materials.
Jesus.
As more and more complaints started coming in, police warned people to keep an eye out for the traps and even organized cleanup efforts to keep hikers safe during their treks. What's most disturbing is that these traps were clearly placed there to hurt people, as there's really no other reason to put nails and barbed wire on the ground in the middle of such a popular hiking trail. The fact that someone would take the time to get out on the trail, build a booby trap in such detail, and place it there with the intention to do harm to other people and their pets is honestly pretty messed up. But it didn't take the cops too long to make an educated guess as to who was behind the whole thing.
Did it get them?
Although they never found the individual suspects responsible for placing the traps on the trail, the sheriff's department determined that the traps had probably something to do with the feud between hikers and bikers who had been fighting over use of the trail for decades.
No way!
According to many nearby residents, it's common for bikers on the trail to speed past the hikers without ringing their bells or announcing their presence, which has led to several injuries and rising tensions between the two groups over the years. Still, it's hard to imagine
Wow.
that someone would take the issue to the point of trying to harm an entire group of people so maliciously with such brutal methods. Fortunately, no one was hurt as a result of the traps, but the suspects responsible were never found.
Bikers, hikers, Karens. All these people try to kill each other in the forest. But thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, please make sure that you like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this one next time. If you're a fan of the spooky and you like gaming, I also stream live on Twitch. We mostly play spooky games, so come and join us. Again, thank you so much for watching and hope to see you next time. Bye!